Alright guys, I'm Revolve Rustler and today I'm going to be reviewing WrestleMania 32, a show that had some expectations and it's a very strange show. It's a strange show. That was my immediate reaction after watching it. It's a strange show, there's some strange booking decisions and I think we should just get into it because there's a lot of matches. But I do want to say, it wasn't as good as NXT Dallas. I don't think it could have been. And overall, though, it wasn't a bad show, and I'm going to talk about that at the end in a bit of detail. So, the pre-show started off with the US title match between Kalisto and Ryback. This had a very solid story. It was just big man, small guy. Kalisto had to overcome the big guy, Ryback. Ryback showed a lot of powerful offense. He used the military press slam. He was suplexing Kalisto, stuff like that. Kalisto used very, very fast offense, so some kicks. Some Hawken Ranas, and in the end, he inadvertently pulled the middle turnbuckle off, and when Ryback came towards him, he tripped him into it, and hit a Salida del Sol, 1, 2, 3. I think one Salida del Sol was a little bit weak, considering Ryback took two, one of them off the top rope, in the World Title Tournament from Kalisto, so one's a bit weak, but overall I thought this was a decent match. It ended the way it should have ended, and it was a nice finish, and that's a sensible finish to have the facing Kalisto go over Ryback. So a decent matchup, 2 3/4 stars. I enjoyed that. Next up we have the 10 Diva tag, the team Total Divas against Team Bad and Blonde. Team Total Divas was Brie Bella, Paige, Eva Marie, Natalya and Alicia Fox. Team Bad and Blonde was Lana, Emma, Summer Rae, Tamina and Naomi. This was fine. They kept Eva Marie out of the ring for most of it. She didn't botch. She hit the sliced red very well. Lana was actually quite impressive. She hit some good kicks. But in the end, it was fine. It was fine. It did what it did, I guess. I think I preferred this to the next match, actually. In the end, Brie Bella, with a very unique way of locking in the S-lock, she rolled through and locked the S-lock in on Naomi. Brie Bella, the diva, or the woman, which I'll talk about in a minute, the woman whose moveset is literally just gimmick infringement, because she's got the snapback, which is Nikki's move, the bell buster, which is literally just the X-Pac's move, all of Daniel Bryan's move, so yeah, she's just gimmick infringement. But overall, fine match, Team Total Divas win. That puts my predictions at 2-0, and they aren't good for the rest of the night. So after this matchup, Lita said she had a special announcement. And we all knew what the announcement would be. We knew it would be they were going to bring back the women's title. Now, they didn't quite do what I thought they'd do. They didn't just rejuvenate the women's title. And I get, firstly, why they did this after the Total Diva match. Basically, Lita came to the ring and talked about how, diva isn't quite the term that the women want to be called, and just said they are women, not divas. She unveiled the new title. It is literally the WWE World title, with a white strap. I like the look of it, but I hope it pays off. And obviously there's a women's match. It was very jarring to hear them say woman instead of diva, and I have to get used to that now, because I've been used to saying diva on the main roster, not in NXT as much, but on the main roster I've definitely gotten used to it, so I'm going to have to take some time. But we'll have to see how that pays off in the triple threat match later on in the night. But it was a great segment, probably one of the best things WrestleMania 32 gave us. Women's wrestling, the women's revolution, not the Divas revolution, the women's revolution has started. The last match on the pre-show was the Usos against the Dudleys. I couldn't really care. It was fine. It lasted 5 minutes. I give it 2 stars. The Usos won. The Dudleys tried to put them through some tables. And, Dirty Deeds shirt today. Why not? It was the first one in my wardrobe. So 2 stars, it was fine. After the match, the Dudleys tried to put the Usos through the table. The Usos ended up double splashing them through the table. So it was fine again. Moving on to the main show, we haven't had too much yet. Opening contest, IC title ladder match. I knew this would be the opener. We have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sin Cara and Stardust. Great ladder match. I don't think it was good as WrestleMania 31's ladder match, but it was still very, very good. There were some nice spots. Zayn's half and half suplex onto Owens on the ladder looked sick as hell. Miz gave a skull-crushing finale to Stardust on a ladder. Sin Cara did an insane senton out to the ring after bouncing off the top rope. Zayn jumped through a ladder and did a senton outside of the ring. Ryder hit a Rough Rider. Ziggler hit everyone with super kicks. He had a super kick party just like the Young Bucks. But in the end, the winner, shockingly, was Zack Ryder. He ended up pushing Miz off the ladder to win the IC title. Now, I don't agree with Zack winning, mainly because they haven't built him enough. Like, it's just so random and so obscure, and it's not believable to me that Zack would win that match, because he hasn't won a Raw match, apart from the Jericho one, I think since, like, 2014. So, it's not really believable to anybody. But regardless, it was a nice moment. It wasn't quite a mark-out moment where I was like, yay, Zack Ryder. I mean, I wanted Owens to win. I wanted Zayn to win. This put my predictions at 3-1. But overall, it was a nice moment. And there was part of me that was like, yes, I'm actually quite a Zack Ryder fan. I've always felt that he was kind of underrated. And him having the IC title and going back down to NXT really doesn't make sense anymore, which means my Pipe Bro shirt is useless. But the thing is with Ryder having the IC title is he's not holding it for very long. He is not holding that belt for more than a month. And I feel like on Raw tonight, there's going to be a title change. It will be this title or it will be the woman's title. Obviously, the woman's title. So they got rid of the Divas title and swapped it for the WWE women's title, even though Charlotte did come to the ring with the Divas title. But yeah, anyway, Ryder, it's a wonderful moment. I gave the match 4 stars. I think it was great. It's a nice moment to have Ryder win the belt, but he's not going to hold it for very long. Unless they shock me. Second match on the main card, we had AJ Styles against Chris Jericho. This wasn't as good as the one at Fastlane, but it was still very crisp. There were a few moments where it was a bit iffy. You can tell that Jericho is, I would say, starting to come to his end, I think. I think that Jericho peaked in terms of ability in all honesty, I think 2008. But here, I think it was still a very good match. It just could have been great. It just needed that one more thing. Styles kicked out of a Codebreaker. Jericho kicked out of a Styles Clash again. I'm not liking him kicking out of a Styles Clash. He then kicked out of the Superman, which is the Springboard 450. Styles, after that, then decided, I'm going to hit him with the phenomenal forearm. And I knew where this match was going from this point. Styles goes for it. Jericho pulls the ref in the way. And then when Styles hesitates, Jericho pushes the ref away, catches Styles in a Codebreaker. 1, 2, 3. Jericho defeats AJ Styles at WrestleMania. The wrong decision, and the first wrong decision on a night of wrong decisions. Ryder, to me, was the wrong decision, but it was still like an okay one that I don't really mind. Jericho was the completely wrong decision. Styles needed this to boost him up to main event status, and now he just looks like a flash in the pan. But overall, it was still a very good match. I give it 3 3/4 stars. We've got some good matches to start, well, great matches to start Mania off. Moving on, we have the least exciting match of the main show, which was the New Day against the League of Nations. It wasn't a handicap match, it was a 6-man tag. Wade Barrett, King Barrett, wasn't involved. You falsely advertised a match again. You've done that a lot recently. But how was the match? It was okay. Actually, I'm not giving it enough credit. It was good, actually. It was a good 6-man tag. I'm used to seeing 6-man tags now, and they're just not fresh. But this was still good. I give it 3 stars. In the end, the New Day should have won again, so I feel like this is another, not really a sensible decision. The League of Nations won when Barrett got involved and hit a bull hammer on Xavier Woods illegally, and then Sheamus Bro kicked him for the pin. I should probably mention that the team for the League of Nations was Del Rio, Rusev, and Sheamus. After the match-up, the League of Nations cut a promo, and they said, there's no 3 men that could ever go against us, and I knew immediately HBK would come out, I knew Austin would come out, and I knew Foley would come out. They charged the ring, beat them down. You saw a Stone Cold Stunner to Rusev, which he sold pretty well. And then Woods got in the ring and tried to make Austin dance, and he got stunned for his troubles, so, meh. Okay, it was good, it was a nice moment, but overall the match was good. I give it 3 stars. Moving on, we have the most anticipated match of the night, and to a lot of people probably the most underwhelming. Street Fight. Well, no holds barred street fight, apparently. Ambrose versus Lesnar. Now, my prediction was Ambrose, and I am very sad Ambrose didn't win. But regardless, I still think this was a very entertaining matchup because the story was very good. Ambrose took some punishment in this matchup. He took 13 suplexes, one onto a pile of chairs. He took a belly-to-belly from the top rope. He took some insane stuff. Lesnar never used a weapon, which I found a little bit kind of shocking. Ambrose got in some great offense, though. He used the chair a lot. He did a suicide dive. He used the cane, a laptop. Just why not? But in the end, Lesnar, after German suplexing Ambrose on a bunch of chairs, Lesnar did actually kick out of the Dirty Deeds on some chairs, by the way, which is a fantastic moment, I think. I nearly jumped, thinking Ambrose was going to win. Lesnar hit an F5 on Ambrose on the chairs. 1, 2, 3, Lesnar wins. The matchup had a few problems. One is, yes, I feel like the build should have led to Ambrose winning, but I'm fine with it being Lesnar because I know that in the end the payoff is going to be there, hopefully. To like a guy like Nakamura or Rollins when he turns babyface, not Reigns, that just doesn't make sense anymore. My other issue is the fact it was too short. It was only 13 minutes, and this match needed like 20 to really sell the story, but the story was still very good. Overall, though, for a matchup that to me should have been the best match on the card, I'm only going to give it 3.5 stars. It was very good, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, and it wasn't as good as it could have been if it got the time. But it was still very good, so please don't hate this because of the outcome or because it was short, because it was still very good. I mean, if you've got a different opinion from me, fine, but I think you should at least look at it from a subjective standpoint. As someone who likes both Ambrose and Lesnar, I'll admit, Lesnar's one of my favourites of all time. I am wearing an Ambrose shirt, though, so I must like Ambrose. Moving on, it is the first ever WWE Women's Championship Triple Threat match. And apparently, because the original title was just the Women's title, this is actually the first ever WWE Women's Championship. And obviously it's Sasha Banks against Becky Lynch against Charlotte. They all looked great. Charlotte wore Ric Flair's robe that he had for WrestleMania 24. Becky Lynch looked like a Native American. She had a feather in her hair, like through half of the match. Sasha Banks' outfit was by far my favourite, and I marked out for it because she was wearing Eddie Guerrero tights. Well, they were tights inspired by Eddie Guerrero, kind of what he wore at No Way Out 04, is what I was thinking. But this matchup again was probably my second most anticipated of the night, and it was the best match of the night. These three women stole the show. One of the reasons this review's going up later is because I rewatched the show, and this match, honestly, it was fantastic. There were so many near falls. Sasha locked in the bank statement, which on both Charlotte and Becky neither tapped out. Becky got in a disarmer on Charlotte. Charlotte didn't tap out. Charlotte probably had the spot of the match where she gave a moonsault to Sasha and Becky on the outside. Sasha did an amazing suicide dive where she actually went into her and then flipped. So it was like a suicide senton. It was really cool to watch. Becky did a Bexplex off the top rope to Charlotte. Just a fantastic women's match. And what was amazing through the matchup, and it was so jarring to me, was the commentators calling them superstars. That puts them on the same pedestal as the male wrestlers. That's exactly what I wanted, and I hope they carry this on. This is the beginning of the women's revolution in wrestling, and I hope it turns out to be fantastic, because this was definitely the best way to start it. In the end, the result is another one to me that I think we should have started a new chapter and had Becky or Sasha win. I particularly wanted Sasha to win, obviously. I'm one of the Sasha crew. But in the end, Charlotte wins with a figure eight as Ric Flair is holding Sasha out the ring. Luckily, Ric Flair didn't get involved too much. He actually got suicide dived by Becky Lynch, which was a nice spot. But in the end, Charlotte retains with a figure eight on Becky Lynch. A great matchup. I'm going to give it 4.25 stars. This is a fantastic matchup. Go check it out. It's the best women's roster, main roster women's match in WWE history by a mile. And this is the start of this women's revolution. And I hope they capitalise on the popularity of these three divas, specifically Sasha and Becky. And I can't wait till Bayley comes up. So next up, we had the Hell in a Cell between Shane and Undertaker, and Jesus Christ. The bump that Shane McMahon took in this matchup will be remembered for a long time. By the way, Sasha losing, put my prediction at 3-5. I didn't have a good night for predictions. I'll talk about my predictions at the end. So yeah, Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon and Undertaker had a great match. Like, to me, this was the second best match of the night. They kicked the hell out of each other. Shane got last rided. He got chokeslammed on some steps. Shane looked like a warrior in there. And the big spot everybody's going to talk about is Shane McMahon jumping off the top of the Hell in a Cell through the announce table, trying to get Undertaker, and Undertaker moved. Amazing spot. Absolutely breathtaking spot. Undertaker picked Shane up, looked at him and went, oh wow, and Shane McMahon just went, come on. Took him to the ring, tombstone pile driver, 1, 2, 3. Shane McMahon lost, which means my predictions were put at 3-6, but I think this was a truly fantastic match. I think the story there was very entertaining. I'm giving it 4.25 stars. I genuinely think it was that good and that entertaining. And you should check it out because there's a genuinely really good story there, and the bump is unbelievable. It is amazing to see a 46-year-old man take that sort of bump. Great match, I loved it. Last 2 matches on the card, and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was literally booked here to split up the 2 main events. And shockingly, there was a few surprise entrants. So there was Shaquille O'Neal, not a good one. Baron Corbin, that's a good one. Diamond Dallas Page, Tatanka, and that's really it. But I predicted Mark Henry. Mark Henry was eliminated very early. Luckily, Big Show and Shaquille O'Neal eliminated each other, which I liked, because at least they're not winning. In the end, your winner, Baron Corbin. And a result I actually agree with. I definitely agree with this result for a few reasons. 1, that's putting over Baron Corbin. 2, that probably means he's on the main roster now. And 3, he lost at Dallas, so this is a nice victory for Corbin. Speaking of losing at Dallas, Sami Zayn, MVP of the weekend, he took some great spots in the match with Zayn, in the IC title ladder match, and of course the Nakamura match was amazing. So yeah, Baron Corbin in the end winning the Battle Royal was a great moment. I really, really liked it. I gave the Battle Royal like 2 stars, but it's fantastic to see a guy like Baron Corbin go over. That put my predictions at 3-7, but screw it, Baron Corbin won. And moving on, finally, the main event, WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Reigns versus Triple H. Triple H's entrance wasn't great, I didn't really like it. Stephanie looked awful. I felt like the outfit she was wearing was not flattering. If she was 23 years old, incredibly flattering. But at her age, and she's not particularly old, she's like 38, but it wasn't, I don't know if I'd want my kids seeing me wearing that. Speaking of wearing that, Lana's outfit, that was exactly what I thought it would be. Very tight, I would say. Christ. Unlike Sasha's outfit, which was amazing. Eddie Guerrero, the other actor. Big Eddie Guerrero fan, obviously. So Reigns and Triple H, this was good. I enjoyed this. I wanted Reigns to win, obviously. People didn't want Reigns to win. I don't know why they booked so many heels. Maybe in leading up to Reigns Vin. I guess Reigns Vin, I just said. Reigns is Vin. German guy. Anyway, I don't know why they booked so many heels leading up to Reigns' win. I guess it was so people would pop for Reigns' win. Nobody popped. I was happy with it, but I didn't pop. It wasn't like a mark-out moment like Ambrose winning would have been, or Sasha would have been, or AJ winning would have been. Well, Corbin was, actually. That was a good one. But overall, the match was good. There were some good spots. Triple H hit a swinging neckbreaker on Reigns off the table, which was nice. Reigns speared Triple H through the barricade. Triple H hit Reigns with a pedigree. Reigns kicked out. In the end, Triple H decided to get the sledgehammer. Reigns ducked a sledgehammer shot, gave him 2 Superman punches, and then speared him for the 1, 2, 3. Reigns is the new WWE World Champion. It was a good match. I gave it 3 stars. Not the best main event in the world, but it was still good overall. So my overall grade for WrestleMania 32 is gonna be. It's a tough one because let me talk about like the booking. So I think Styles should have gone over. I think Sasha or Becky should have gone over. Either would have been fine. I do think Ambrose should have gone over, and I think Shane should have gone over because nothing significant happened. You had the women's title being unveiled, which was great. You had Corbin winning, which was great. And you had Reigns winning, which was predictable. So nothing significant really happened. Ambrose beating Lesnar would have been so significant. A new women's champion would have been so significant. Styles beating Jericho would have been significant. Ryder winning was a nice touch, but I think Owens winning would have been more significant. So overall, when taking into account everything, I'm going to give this Mania a 6.5 out of 10 because there is a lot of quality here. The IC title ladder was great. Styles and Jericho put on a very good match. The League of Nations New Day was good. Lesnar and Ambrose was very good, even though it was really underwhelming. And I do think the victor was wrong. The Divas Triple Threat's the best main roster women's match ever. You should definitely watch that. Shane and Taker was just a spectacle. And the Battle Royal was nice for Corbin, and the main event was good. Like, it's a nice moment for Reigns. So, I guess, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Raw Wrestle-Lot. This show wasn't as good as NXT TakeOver Dallas. I don't think it could have been. But, like, comment, subscribe for more. I guess tell me what you thought of WrestleMania. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favourite match? Did you think Ambrose and Lesnar was underwhelming? Because I did. Do you agree with the booking in terms of who won, not in terms of the matches overall? Because the matches overall were booked quite well, just not the winners. I guess thanks for watching, guys. This has been Raw Wrestle-Lot. Like, comment, and subscribe for more.